Arjan. Jários Gavranraya Jahan Jagad, Nordaj Mujh Khanya Quaiza Naya Puba e Caspu. Kharjan Nija Naton Naroj, Kinyainha Katin Khanya Quaiza, Nordaj Kabud Lakai Kusai. Kujad, Nonyakai Khanasinya, Kharjan Rani Jaruj, Jajjan Barbu Sinya, Karai Badag Sinya. The story of the Natyo Narosha, told in Arjan. Phonology. Arjan features a pretty generally common phonology, with the exception of maybe the sound which is pronounced with a velar fricative and a alveolar trill at the same time. The sounds featured in the language are ba, da, ga, ba, da, ga, ma, na, nya, r, kh, sa, the, z, j, h, wa, ra, ya. For vowels, we have a 8-vowel system featuring e, u, e, a, a, ah. Moving on to consonant and vowel harmony. In Arjan, there is a consonant and vowel harmony. So what this means is that for vowels and consonants, only letters that are in the same class can appear in the same word. So like, for example, ba could not occur with za because ba is in the first class and za is in the second class. Rules for this are, for consonants and vowels, their harmony is spread from front to back. And few letters are opaque, such as A and N, which means that they are not affected by the vowel harmony. And affixes, like prefixes and suffixes, always spread the harmony. So now for phonotactics and roots. So phonotactics are the way that a language is put together. For Arjan, they have a CVC syllable structure. Each syllable needs a consonant and a vowel, and optionally another consonant. So the consonants are the ones we already went over, and as are the vowels. And all words in Arjan is pretty strict with the way that words can be made. As you can see here, all words must either be consonant vowel, consonant, consonant vowel, consonant vowel, consonant vowel, or consonant vowel, consonant vowel, consonant. So now for roots. All noun roots have two forms, which is the normal and the base form. And the normal is like any word, it must be unique from all the others, but the base form is not necessarily unique from any other base form, and it has a CVCV structure. So even though it's not necessarily unique, you can normally tell them apart due to context, but there is times where that factor becomes hard to disambiguate. All verb roots have one form, the unconjugated, which is different from the infinitive, which is conjugated using the third person progressive. So the unconjugated form is the form that we take and apply affixes to give it more meaning. The infinitive is a separate form that refers to the word itself, and we use the third person progressive for that form. So the unconjugated form of a verb, the base form, is always consonant, vowel, consonant. Nothing more, nothing less. Adjectives are very flexible, and if they don't exist already, they can be formed by putting a noun in the nessive case, which we'll get to cases later. So adjectives can be any of them, and some adjectives, as well as some prepositions and adpositions and others, can be as simple as CV. Adjectives and some prepositions and others are the only things that can be CV in Arjan. Now, cases. So, because Arjan has evolved from Laokai, which was the language that preceded it, it has some very interesting cases. So it has a single, dual, and plural number, which are conjugated with the nominative slash accusative, instrumental case, which means like with something, like using something, like I did this with a bat. Instructive, which is and, like and the house or something. And anessive, which means in, so in the house. So we take the word here, casa, which means house. And then if you take that into dual, it becomes takas. And if you take that into plural, it becomes casa. So a little bit of a history lesson here. It was originally takasa, but because nouns can only be CVCVC, there wasn't a third vowel allowed, so the last third vowel gets cut off. A lot of the getting cut off is due to the strict structure of Arjan. A thing it says here, it says instructive slash ablative. So the ablative case means that if I want to say from the house, I'll have a preposition from, but then I'd have to use, instead of saying like from casa, it'd have to be from kukas. Alright, now on to cases in the pronouns. So cases in the pronouns tend to be a lot more irregular, and in some languages, such as English, pronouns are the only actual words that retain case. So for pronouns, we only have three cases. The nominative, which is always incorporated into the verb because of the personal agreement. So for accusative, they decline for single, dual, and plural number, and for second and third person. So originally, this would just mean exactly what it says it would mean. As Arjan developed away from Laokai, its predecessor, some words developed a sort of different meaning. You can see this where it's like first person dual is an inclusive we, while first person plural is an exclusive we, which means we including you, and the other which means we not including you. So as well as the accusative case, we also have the instructive case, which means and. So, for example, you and me would be Zawan Gunya. Zawan, which means you, and Gunya, which means and me. Now, on to verb declensions. There are 9 verb declensions in Arjan, which means that there are 9 different ways you can decode a verb. These declensions are evolved from its predecessor Laokai and feature some personal agreement, 3 tenses, present, past, and future, and 4 moods, progressive, wantative, passive, and abilitative. Progressive means something like ing in English, like I am doing something, in the progress of something. Wantative is wanting, like I want to do something. Passive is a little hard to explain, but in the sample in the beginning there was an example of something in the passive tense, and it said that the Shaliushists had been feared. So it took the word for fear and then had been feared. So like it's passivizing it. I don't know if that makes sense. It's not a great description. And abilitative tense. which is can do something. So these declensions do not arise from irregularity from evolving from Laukai, but they actually arise from the consonant and vowel harmony that's featured in the language. So here I have a table of which declensions mean what. It's a combination of different consonant agreement and vowel agreements, and just an example here so you can see what it is. For example, when you have the word I want to sleep, that's nuras, but I want to sing is rajaj. So that's the same same suffix, just in two different declensions. Another example, right? Goose, which means fight. Sorry, no, goose means hit. Kus means fight, right? And you can see here, like, he fought would be kusse, but he hit would be kusi. So the suffix changes a little bit to match the root. So let's talk about its evolution from Laukai. So Laukai was the original language that was spoken on the continent. And Laukai evolved into 4 languages, as you can see here. Arjan, Taija, Toa, Nyaku, and indirectly Nora. So if you take a look at this map here, Arjan is spoken in the Arjan state that is colored in yellow. So the red state, which is Nora, also used to be under the state of Arjan. But in 1497, modern time, they voted to secede from the Union. So Nora descended from a old version of Arjan, which was called Middle Arjan before it became the fully independent thing it is today. The other states are green in the middle, which is Taija, and purple down below, which is Toa. You also have Nyaku in the Laukai island in blue. Okay, let's look at a sentence that has descended from Laukai. So this language is spoken far in the future, but for them, they are in their modern times is roughly 6,000 AD, as you can see here, where it says as spoken. So Laukai was spoken in its final form before it became other languages in around 5000 AD, and Arjan is spoken in around 6300 AD. So here is a sample sentence, first from Laukai and then in Arjan. Kosha ina kahataka I shakasa ona, kuinoya ina takwashakar shakasar ina. Kusya satin katak sinya jagasunya, kinyanoya satin tatak jadal satin. Thank you for watching, and until next time, Buka Arazawan.